Brothers and sisters, I just had an epiphany called the evolution. I call it the evolution of war. So, I'm going to give you a piece of history that you should know and everybody should know. In World War One, it started because one person was assassinated, the Archduke of Ferdinand. And shit got real, World War One. And turned into a world war, got bad, but then World War II came around, and it was the evolution of war. This is how war evolves, and the thesis of this video is how history always repeats itself. History always repeats itself. So, with that said, World War II, the rise of Hitler. Hitler rose to power because, one, he was highly intellectual, he had the mind of a one percenter, and he knew how to band people together. Okay? The evolution of war. So what did he do? He sought to take over the world, but he also had backup from some serious countries until one day they bombed Pearl Harbor, as you already know. By the way, I remember a story that somebody wrote on the wall at a elementary school in red that something about Pearl Harbor being bombed the week prior to it happening, which means somebody obviously knew about it. Now I think about it, quite perplexing. Check, myth busting. Anyways, if we didn't get involved with the war, okay, this is the evolution of war. If we didn't get involved with the war as Americans, well, who knows? Like, I don't even know. I don't even want to think about it. But anyway, so the evolution of war. So it got real furious, real intense. The fighting got real bad. And I'm going to show you at the end of this video how history repeats itself. And it's coming. Now, the evolution of war. Now, what do you see? You see drones. You see, if you look closely, you can see in Russia, and I'm sure there's a lot of things that you don't know. We are 100 years right now ahead in technology, but they're just not going to tell you that. I'm telling you. We're 100 years in technology. They can do some things. Yes, they have spacecrafts. I know all this stuff. I've seen them actually over by the Air Force Base in Oakley, California. I saw some weird things in California in the skies. But anyhow, the evolution of modern warfare. So, if you ever play the game Modern Warfare, what do you see? You see more tactical, right? We got more tactical. So, it's like proxy wars. Like, they put them in specific proxy wars that somebody will shoot out a plane and they'll make it up. This is the evolution of war, and then they'll start a war with another country. This is how they do it. And this is now the real evolution of war. It's so with the coronavirus, okay? The coronavirus is actually World War. World War III is on this earth, but it's a war you can't see. Ooh, gotcha. It's a war you can't see. You understand what I'm saying, my children? It's a war it's a silent war that you cannot see. This is how the evolution of war happens. So, now at the end of this video, I'm going to show you something that, well, one, I feel two ways about it, I'm going to tell you how I feel. One, for some reason, I always think about Hitler, and I want to understand his mind, because the man was obviously a genius, okay? With all due respect to all the people that lost their lives with what he did, but the man was a fucking genius. And do I admire him? I don't admire him. I do respect him, though. I don't respect what he did, but the man was he was an evil genius. So was Stalin. Stalin was on another level, actually. And the Ooms. You know, Kim Jong Un slapped. He had two people go up to his brother because his brother was slipping, and slap him up with one chemical, and then the other woman slapped him with another chemical that actually killed him. True story, dude. That's the Ooms. They don't. They're crazy too, man. These are dictators. That's the reason why we're so privileged to live in America. So, right now, the silent warfare. We are in a silent war, and history is repeating itself. Why? Because, well, I don't know how it was back in the day, but I don't know if it was overpopulation. No, it was people. See, we have this thing in our brain. We have this side in our brain that is part reptilian. I always told you I was a reptilian shapeshifter. I am. And this part of our brain, like, it makes us think about fighting. That's how you know. I ever told you the story about Enki and Emil, the creator gods that actually created us? Yeah. We were actually put here on Earth to mine gold, to be honest with you. And that's the reason why it goes hand in hand with the Bible. Like, so I actually had a dream once on how we were created, and I woke up from it, and I'm not going to speak on it because it's a really weird dream, but how we were actually created. And they say in the Bible, a male gave a rib for a female. Now in my dream, it was very similar to that, actually. Like, only different. I don't know, I don't feel like explaining it. But anyhow, so how history repeats itself. So what happened is we had to stand up to the oppressors, which were the Nazis. Okay, but reincarnation happened and they're back on it. But in different forms, you have to understand. And so we're now in a time of psychological warfare where children are hanging themselves because of social media, and it's on a new level of psychological warfare to the point where you need to, I recommend really listening, one, to history, because this repeats itself. Listen to the music. Like, if you listen to the music and you listen very closely to the music, well, then you will learn. If you watch movies, don't watch the television. I haven't watched a movie in a long time, actually. I deserve to watch a movie. Sorry, I haven't worked shit. And if you look in the movies, like, there's so much truth to these movies that it's mind-boggling. I can think of so many good movies right now that would just throw you off balance. Like, because the thing is, I'm gonna put out the video of Black Mirror. That's right, Black Mirror is actually based on true stories. It's on another level, my children. I'm just trying to give you some knowledge. But hey, check out this video. And this is the evolution of war, World War II. Thank God we surpassed it. Peace be with you, and also with you.
In October 1929, the US stock market crashed. Billions of dollars were lost, and an economic depression swept across the world. Unemployment in Germany soared to over 6 million. Only extremist politicians seemed to offer a solution.
Wir haben ein Ziel uns gewählt und verpflichtet es.
Politicians like Hitler. By 1931, his Nazis were a true mass movement. And they had their own brown-shirted thugs, the SA stormtroops, who numbered almost 3 million. In the 1932 elections, the Nazis became the largest party in Germany's parliament, the Reichstag. But Hitler refused to join a coalition, leaving parliament paralyzed. To break the impasse, President Hindenburg made him Chancellor in January 1933, head of the government. Within a month, the Reichstag burned down. Hitler accused the communists and demanded emergency powers. He then used them to ban all other political parties. In August 1934, President Hindenburg died. Hitler declared himself president. He was now absolute leader, the Führer of Germany. At first, there was little sign of what was to come. For the next 3 years, the Führer concentrated on rebuilding Germany's economy. He spent millions on public works, including the 5,000-mile Autobahn system, to soak up the unemployed. But in secret, Hitler was also spending lavishly on a huge rearmament program. Under the Versailles Treaty, the German army had been limited to 100,000 men. The country was forbidden to have an air force, tanks, or submarines. This small army was trebled in size. Then, in 1935, Hitler came out into the open. He unveiled a brand new air force, the Luftwaffe. It had 2,500 planes, far more than Britain or France.